Now, former director of the University of Ghana Center of Migration Studies, Professor Mariama Awumbila, has observed that despite the negative perception about the negative effect of migration, it has lots of positives when leveraged on, which could propel the country to greater heights. Citing the issue of doctors or other professionals leaving the country for greener pastures, she stated that country benefits a lot from them through remittances, which help to develop the country. Professor Mariama Awumbila made the observation at the second research of the Simon Diedong Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies in WA. JoyNews' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam now reports from WA.
The 22nd Annual Research Conference of the Simon Diedong Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, SDDU-BITS, was held on the theme leveraging applied research in higher education to address contemporary issues. Lecturer at the Department of Geography and Resource Development and a former director at the University of Ghana Center for Migration Studies, Professor Mariama Awumbila, who was the keynote speaker, noted that in times past, migration was perceived to be negative and a drawback on the African continent as a result of brain drain. Research, however, has proven that if it is managed well, it will bring significant development.
The brain drain, many professionals, doctors, nurses, all our health professionals, teachers, all moving out, and carrying away all the skills of Africa. That migration is bad, and people, they go and they put pressure on the areas of destination. Migrants tend to be thieves and robbers and so on. But we are saying that it's not always so. Migration also, if managed properly, can have positive. And many migrants are contributing positively. We talked about the diaspora, Ghanaian diaspora outside. For instance, the doctors, why do you keep him? If your doctor wants to go, why do you keep him from going? You put in place policies such as when he goes, you can gain from that migrant. So you can train more. If people like Ghanaian doctors, let's train them. Let's train more of them and see how we can leverage that to be able to gain from that.
Professor Mariama Awumbila averred that one migration corridor, which has been overlooked over the years, but where research has shown that lots of remittances are gotten is through intra-regional migration.
And international migration out of the continent, but also begin to look at what we call South-South migration, so migration within the global South. And we did this because our research showed that about 70, for West Africa, it's even about 75% of migrants who move actually move to another West African country. So all this media hype and so on about people moving in boats and going to Europe, it only involves about some 20%. Most are moving regionally and maybe internally. And yet, we seem to have, at that time, in 2006, not put much focus on it.
Director of the Directorate of Research, Innovation and Consultancy at SDDU-BITS, Professor Maurice Oscar Dasa, opined that developing countries need more sustained research for development by calling on the government to look at how best to couple its key subsystems to harness and support research that will inform policies for national development.
Inarguably, research is the cornerstone of the development of nations. It is what moves nations and humanity generally. A look at the difference between nations of the global north that have sustained investment in research and those of the global south, with some notable exceptions, is proof of what I'm saying.
Vice Chancellor of SDDU-BITS, Professor Philip Duku Osai, chaired the conference.
It is the reason why we have prioritized research by spending our hard-earned IGF on it. Without research and the use of our outputs, we cannot fulfill our mandates to Ghana and their powers.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.